Mr. Santosh, you may go. Remember, there is a law in this country too. Madhavi almost shouted on Santosh and got up to leave. Sweetheart, Pratapji said he wanted to say something. Please, Papa, Madhavi said, stopping her father. She knew that Papa would tell her to think again. They have been saying this for the past 2 years. By the time Pratapji let Santosh out, Madhavi had gone for her room. Her father Pratap entered her room. He thought she might be crying. Instead, she was listening to her favorite music with earphones. Due to this, she did not even hear the sound of her father coming. Pratapji put his hand on her shoulder. Madhavi said, Dad, am I a burden on you? So why are you pushing me into that hell? You will not understand, daughter, what a father's heart feel if a daughter returns to her parents' house after broken marriage. If so, I will get a separate house and live alone, said Madhavi. Even if your house changes, my opinion will not change. Tears started flowing from Pratapji's eyes. Pratap was emotionally weak. First, there was a rift in Madhavi's married life, and then, after the death of his wife, he became alone. Madhavi did not want to leave her father alone at this stage of his life, and now destiny had arranged for her to stay with him. Madhavi's phone rang. It was an unknown number, so Madhavi did not pick up. When the phone rang again, she picked it up and quickly disconnected it. On the other side was Santosh. Well, father gave my number to him too. Pratap always wanted everything to go well between Madhavi and Santosh. Today was Madhavi's mother Pramila's first death anniversary. While performing the ritual, he wept profusely, remembering his wife. Madhavi somehow calmed him down. No matter how much a man brags about his bravery, he is always hollow inside, and a woman who is considered emotionally weak is always tough. In a way, a man's entire life depends on a woman. Be it mother, sister, daughter, or wife, a man always needs their support. The way Madhavi was explaining to her father, it was as if she had become his mother and not his daughter. The shadow of the lamp burning in the place of worship was shining on Pramila's photo, as if Pramilaji, immersed in the divine light, had reincarnated in the house. Pratap looked at his wife's photo and said, Now you explain to your lovely daughter how stubborn she is. She says that she will stay here now. Tell her even today it is not so easy to break up a marriage in our society. Madhu also looked at mother's photo and said, Mother, you know everything. What happened to me there? Shall I go to that hell again? It is a weakness of the human mind that even after death, the presence of loved ones is felt and people talk to them as if they were alive. He believes that the spirit still hears them. Pratap couldn't sit on the ground for long due to excruciating pain in his knee and got up from there, but Madhavi sat there calmly. But while looking calm from above, Madhavi was having a storm of bitter memories. Madhavi, the only daughter of Pratap and Pramila, grew up in a very pampered environment. Both her parents gave her good manners, and because of that, she had dignity in her personality, but also a great sense of self-respect. Pratap was a high-ranking administrative officer and Pramila was a professor. Madhavi also made a name for herself as a meritorious student. She studied medicine and became a doctor. She was principled and very honest about her work. Many times, the accompanying doctor felt that it was a backward thought. When her classmate Devansh proposes marriage to her, she rejects him as Devansh only wanted money and sometimes violated morality, and this is what Madhavi dislikes. Devansh always said money can buy morals. Madhavi always countered Devansh's word. Morality cannot be bought. Making money is not a crime, but she was of the clear opinion that it should not be earned through unethical means. Her father also often explained to her the importance of money in married life, seeing how difficult it would be for a principal girl like Madhavi to compromise in today's world. Pratap was getting restless. He himself was in a department where the work could not be done without some adjustment of the system. Pramila was in the field of education and was very disciplined and rule abiding. Many times Pratap and Pramila used to argue over the same reason. When she would ask why Pratap would make such compromises, he would immediately say, It's all for your benefit. While Pramila would say, I or my daughter don't want a single penny of your black money. We are capable. Pramila also understood that the system from top to bottom in the government departments is so corrupt that even if we want to do, we cannot save ourselves from it. Due to Pramila's influence, Pratap also gradually developed his own personality and came to be regarded as an honest officer in his department. Madhavi was a doctor in a government hospital and many marriage proposals were coming to her. The problem was it was difficult to find a groom of her equal personality. Finally, Pratapji's colleague Vijay suggested proposal for his only son Santosh. He had his own company in London. But for this, Madhavi had to leave her hospital job and go to the UK. Madhavi was against leaving her parents and settling abroad. Eventually, she agreed to marriage on the condition that she would not quit her job. She will take a long leave. Finally, Madhavi got married and she reluctantly moved to UK. Everything went smoothly during the honeymoon period for a few days, and after the honeymoon period ended, she began to see Santosh's true face. Madhavi understood that in fact he used to manage his father's black money. Father Vijay held a high position in the ministry. He had amassed immense wealth which could not be invested directly in India, so he invested the money abroad. For this, he had established a company in UK. When Madhavi came to know, she was very angry. When Santosh resisted, he first started abusing her and then started beating her. When he realized that Madhavi might leave him and come back to India, he confiscated all her documents, including her passport and visa, and threatened her that she would not be able to do anything abroad without the documents even if she wanted to. One day after his trouble became too much, he complained to the police. After that, not only the documents were obtained, but Santosh was also punished. Somehow, as soon as she returned to India, she returned to her parents' house. Bursting into tears, her father apologized to her, thinking that if he had not pressurized her, she might not have married. He was angry with himself for not being able to understand his colleague Vijay and his son's character, despite working together for so many years. Madhavi was soon admitted to the hospital and life slowly go back on track. After a few days, Santosh started calling continuously. He and his family wanted the marriage not to break up and Madhavi to return to her father-in-law's house, but Madhavi felt that going back now would be a risk to her life. Then one day something happened which no one could have imagined. After dinner, while Pramila and Pratap were watching the news on the TV, she suddenly suffered a heart attack and was declared dead by the time she was rushed to the hospital. Despite being a doctor, Madhavi could not do anything. It has been 1 year today since Pramila passed away. After the death of his wife, Pratap became prematurely old and his health also began to decline. Madhavi herself was also very broken after her mother's death. Although she always claimed to her father that she was strong and would cry whenever she was alone in the room. Santosh and his family did not come to meet on time either. Madhavi did not expect this, rather she thought that it was good for her. Who knows, if Santosh had come during that time, she would have emotionally reconnected with him through the shock of the death. It was a good thing, then loneliness strengthened her. Today again Santosh came. He says that if Madhavi doesn't want to be together, then we will get a divorce on mutual understanding. Madhavi thinks for a long time but then feels that after divorcing her, Santosh will ruin a girl's life again. That is why he should not be released so soon. She refused to do sign on the divorce papers even though she also knew that Santosh and his father could go to any level. When Madhavi asked for time to think, Santosh returned her. "Mummy, stay with me. I will fight every crisis." Madhavi prayed while placing a wreath on Pramilaji's photo. Then she got up, gave food to her father and ate herself. Looked at the clock. It was time for duty. She left the house to go where she was needed the most, instructing Papa to take medicines on time. Her patients were waiting for her in the hospital. So friends, wait here for the vocabulary. So if you like the story, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and subscribe the channel. So here after each story, we try to list down all the important words and its meanings which will be important for you in your English learning journey.